Today on the show, busted influencers. One specifically got blown up for not being good at the thing that he got famous for, which is kind of nuts. And then secondly, this is a crazy article from Cosmo saying how actually men don't need to be tall for women to want to date them. Is it a lie? We'll show you the stats.
Adam's got his mousse in his hair, looking very slick.
Thank you. It's because I showered and did not have time to let my hair dry before I used my. It's not mousse, by the way.
It's got some 1986. It got some mousse in his hair.
No, there's no
mousse. Mousse in the dew. All right. Okay.
Nobody's using mousse these days.
Yeah, mousse in the dew.
Hey, so before we get really started,
all right,
the movie we talked about for weeks, Sinners, you actually saw it.
I went and I saw it, and I don't like scary movies, and I was very trepidatious. However, it was unreal.
It's that. So you don't like scary movies? Is it a jump scare movie?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
It's a jump scare movie. It's gory. It is spooky. It's everything I do not like. However, because of the way it was done and it had so much more substance to it, I was really impressed. Also, the good times were so good, I didn't want it to get bad, but then it did. And it got really bad. So bad. It was, I won't give it any spoilers, but there was a music element to it as well that just made it absolutely fantastic.
Really? There's so much about that movie. Vampires and racism in the 1930s and this and that. You're like, that shouldn't work.
Nope.
And a musical?
It's
a musical?
Kind of a musical. There's a lot of also an aspect of Irish jigging. Oh, the lead singer of July talks in it. There are layers. And my For You page on TikTok is only Sinners now.
Really?
Yep.
Is there Sinners lore that helps you explain
stuff?
There
are so many Easter eggs, and there's so many nods to references, especially in the southern US, like you mentioned about racism and how that impacted, communities. And it's so well done. It's done by the director that did Black Panther and Creed as well. So this guy, and he's also a huge.
So he's worked with Michael B. Jordan.
He has, and he's at the end of the day, he's a big film nerd. So I think that there was a hybrid. There's different aspect ratios that it was shot on. It's so detailed. It's so detailed.
So you really liked it?
I really, really liked it.
Okay.
I didn't.
You're talking about this you're a film major. I don't know how to relate to that because I have lowbrow film tastes.
I didn't watch. I wasn't sure of who died and who didn't because that part I wouldn't watch. I called it The War when all of the vampires. A lot of fighting. And I didn't watch that part. I closed my eyes and I looked down. But everything beyond that was absolutely fantastic.
I'm glad you got out of your house and you're watching something other than Girls. That's really nice to hear. You watch that show a lot.
Well, I thought I should watch the entire series.
But what's the most unbelievable love story in Girls? Because I've always thought it was Adam Driver and
Lena
Dunham.
Anyone
I was
Lena Dunham.
No chance.
Yeah, I think Adam Driver and also Jessa too. I find that kind of weird.
Oh, yeah.
They're chaotic and they get a lot. I get it, but I also don't. It doesn't feel right.
No.
The whole. I'm almost finished the entire series, so the 6th season. So everything at this point is a mess.
Yeah, this season it ends weird.
Don't tell me
it's hard to end a show though. I'll give anybody that. It is tough to end a good show.
All the series that we've ended, Adam. It's tricky.
Now today we're going to start off by talking about influencers selling fake things. And obviously everybody from the Kardashians on down has been accused of this. A lot of times influencers will sell stuff that they don't even use, or that they never would use. In fact, a lot of them do. And
except for us.
Well, no, listen, I most of the stuff, I think anything that I've ever endorsed or said, hey, you should try this, I've used.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's one of those things where a lot of times, when you get to a certain scale, right? We're not on that level.
No.
Where, you've got hundreds of thousands of followers and you have your own product line.
Yeah.
And that's where the criticism comes in because it's are Kylie and Kendall really using the $20 makeup or are they using the spray on high-end crazy crap?
They're using
and
very
we know the answer
stuff.
to that. Yeah. So I sent you a video, and this is an influencer who sold something fake, but it wasn't a product, it was himself. And it has brought down his entire ecosystem.
Okay.
Yeah. Seriously, watch this.
Okay.
We need gatekeepers in music. We need people who police how music gets made, who gets to make the music. and who gets to be famous because of the music they made. Of course, I'm referring to Giacomo Torra, one of the largest Instagram guitarists ever, who turns out was faking his solos. He was recording them at half speed and speeding them up and miming along, and then also stealing his solos note for note from smaller creators. Enter Rick Beato, Gatekeeper. Rick is the largest channel on the internet for music. He has interviewed Sting, he has interviewed Pat Metheny, and when Giacomo came in to be interviewed by Rick, Rick refused to release the footage because Giacomo couldn't play. Giacomo knew how to play the social media game. He knew how to get the algorithm to recommend his stuff, and because of that, he was being touted as the next guitar hero. He had sponsorships, he had a signature guitar, until people started gatekeeping that behavior. Human beings like Rick Beato, and others like Danny Sapko. Gatekeepers are good.
What?
So first off, what I love about that TikTok, he's like, of course I'm referring to, and then proceeds to
Like,
say
where are you
a person's name I've never heard
You
of.
are deep in guitar TikTok. Right?
I don't know how it just kind of popped up, and I thought, I don't know who Giacomo Torra is, but I thought, well, that's interesting. So what he's doing,
How do you get away with that?
is he was slowing down, he was speeding up his playing,
Yeah.
and editing it properly so that for Reels and for TikTok, so that it looked like he was playing 2-speed. So if he's playing it at half speed, he could play it. But obviously, at the speeds that you're talking about, like an Eddie Van Halen sort of like level, it's very, very difficult to do that, and only a few people on earth can do it. And so this guy goes to the biggest. I can't believe, first off, that this guy would go to the biggest music channel on the internet and go, yeah, I'll do an interview and play for you, knowing that he can't play that.
Well, I feel like when you're that level of delusional, like you get yourself probably into some sticky situations.
Yeah.
Well, he has some obvious. He would have to have foundational knowledge of guitar for him to get away with that. But maybe he thought, I'll be able to do it on the fly there. It'll work there.
It'll just happen. I think that's probably what happened, right? Like he was probably like, oh, it'll just happen. So
the audacity of a man, the audacity of a man.
Yeah. So Danny Sapko published a video that accused the Italian guitarist, this is another YouTuber, of plagiarizing other people's songs, selling tabs to solos
No.
he did not compose, and failing to accurately credit smaller artists in his clips. And Giacomo Torra then had to
What does he have to
publish
say?
an apology video on his YouTube channel. And you know how these apologies videos go,
Hey guys.
right? Hey guys, something we need to talk about. And they're always sitting on the ground. SNL parodied that once. It was really good.
Oh God.
The entire account has now been seemingly taken down.
He's gonna get trolled, yeah.
Yeah. So as of this recording, it's down. His website is also down. And his artist page is down, and basically they've deleted a whole bunch of stuff. And so this Rick Beato guy, again, another person I've never heard of, but apparently he's got the biggest channel on the internet. That's by the way, the internet, right? Most famous person ever in this particular subsection of the internet. And if you're not in that subsection, you've never heard of this person, right? But this Rick Beato says, Giacomo Torra, I had him in my studio a few months ago. I had him because of his Instagram videos. He presents himself as a great player. This is before I figured out from Danny Sapko that he had stolen other people's music. Some of them are friends of mine. When Giacomo came here, he was coming through town. And when he came here, he played. I realized he could not play well enough to even put the video out.
And
so they wouldn't even release the video because they didn't want to embarrass him because it was that bad.
I'm sorry, but and that's very polite, but I feel like if you have the audacity, and he's obviously monetizing this, he's doing well, release the video. If you're setting yourself up to be embarrassed, and that's audacious. I think they should have just released the video.
You think that? So you would have just put that, if he'd been on our show and he sucked?
No, I wouldn't, because I'd feel terrible. But
because what it does, right, is it creates like a pile-on situation.
Yeah, you don't want to bully somebody, or I would say, Giacomo, you can't keep tricking the guitar community no more.
You're passionate about the guitar community.
Well, I don't know. It's the audacity. I don't think he feels bad unless he was caught. He wouldn't have felt bad. Yeah, I don't like that.
So here's the thing now.
Sneaky.
Now that he's been caught out, and the guitar community's tough, man. They are
they?
really hard on each other. Oh my God.
The guitar community.
The guitar community, listen, musicians are hard on each other. And it's because all of them wanted to be the greatest.
Yeah.
Right? And I respect that, because they have a drive for greatness. This guy got to the top somehow and got everything that a musician could want, deals and a signature guitar. Like, how cool, how amazing, right?
Yeah.
And now he's got to sit the rest of his life kind of in shame and like hide from it. That's like he could be walking on the street and people recognize him.
Would
Eh,
you recognize him?
I have no idea. Like I told you, I'd never heard the name before,
Giacomo?
but it did make me think about other influencers that have been caught for things.
Yeah, like and publicly shamed.
Publicly shamed.
yeah.
So there's one, the second, I'm going to give you two.
Okay.
The second one here I know because of a Netflix documentary.
Okay,
That's
who
how
are the-
big
yeah,
it was.
okay.
It was a Netflix documentary.
Okay.
But the first one I hadn't heard of, but I thought you'd find this interesting. Giovanna Mendoza, Instagram influencer, promoted a vegan lifestyle and even offered a detox program for $99. Now,
Is she Australian?
I have no
No,
idea.
okay.
Belle Gibson is. That's the one we're
Oh,
going to
okay.
get to
That's what
next.
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Anyway, so she offered this detox program for $99. And any doctor will tell you that any quote unquote detox you're going through, that's just basically what your liver does.
Yeah.
So unless you're detoxifying from like literal alcohol and drugs, you're that's quite the look you just gave me.
No,
You're not really detoxing anything.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, I'm just on a cleanse. No, you're not. You're just drinking juice for a week. Just say what you're doing. Like it's okay. But she said it turned out that Giovanna Mendoza was not sticking to the vegan lifestyle. She was accidentally caught eating fish by a follower of hers
Sneaky.
at a restaurant who posted the video online. Do you
Like
imagine?
zoomed in with like
Yeah,
the
so
live
she's-
footage of her eating fish.
At a restaurant eating some fish.
Oh
By the
my
way,
God.
a lot of vegans are like that. So like,
Pescatarian.
yeah, it's pescatarian. Just call it pescatarian. Eat some fish, whatever. Fish can't scream. You don't feel as bad about it. That's what it is.
No,
that's totally what it is. By the way, that is 100% what it is.
Careful. Okay.
100%.
They are a passionate
Yeah,
community,
no, it's
and
like,
I'm scared
oh no,
of them.
I can pet these, but the fish aren't really cuddly, so I'll eat them. Hey, listen,
Nemo.
this is coming from someone who eats just about anything, so I'm down.
All right.
Giovanna later issued an apology
Jesus.
explaining the vegan diet had led to health issues for her.
Oh, she
and her
needed
doctors
her. Yeah.
advised her to include meat and eggs in her diet. And by the way, this is why we don't take diet tips, any sort of diet tips, whether you're losing weight, gaining weight, whatever, from people other than somebody who's been to school for it.
Yeah.
Get to a dietitian. There's plenty of them on TikTok. I got a friend, search Abby dietitian on TikTok.
Okay, but
she's amazing.
Here's the question: is that again another unregulated wild west thing? Because I'm sure that most of these dietitians are actual dietitians on TikTok.
Yes.
But you can just say that you're a dietitian and start an account and fool everyone.
Yes,
and
you can. Just like you can say you're a great guitar player and edit.
It's guitars and food and gut health. Like I don't trust anyone.
Now
That's what I do.
the one you referenced earlier, and this is where people have got to be so careful, man.
Yeah.
Elle Gibson,
Oh yeah.
holistic diet. She was one of those people that had like a cookbook and everything. And she said that eating a holistic diet helped her fight cancer.
Yeah, like she was healed. Yeah.
Now this is this. So there are people that believe this.
Mhm.
One of them was Steve Jobs. Like if you read the Steve Jobs book, he thought that he'd be able to cure his cancer by eating properly, and it ended up killing him because
What?
he could have. Well, no, you read the book, like it's in the book. There are people that suggest, doctors that suggest, had he just gone to the doctor and dealt with it, it may have been a really rough road, but he probably would have had a better chance of surviving.
Was he listening was he listening to Bell or like that sort of
No,
like,
but it's that sort
that
of
vibe, yeah.
And you know, if Steve Jobs, for instance, was always like that. Again, it's in the book, but basically, like they would make his friends and family would make fun of him because he was such. He would say it was health. I would just call it like disordered or picky eating.
Yeah, that's just
where
this
he's like,
disorder.
you know, it's like it doesn't eat like that Simpsons joke. Like I'm a level 5 vegan. I don't eat anything that casts a shadow.
Yeah,
like you know,
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. He
yeah.
was like that. And so Belle Gibson, you know, you're talking about cancer and you're talking about holistic diet. She said, so she put out a cookbook, which she claimed fans' money would be donated to charitable organizations. However, in March 2015, it was reported that Gibson had not actually given any of the $300,000 she had raised to charity. And as a result, fan inquiries and subsequent criticism, she ultimately came clean and said she never had been diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, you can't do that. Like
and
that's
there's crazy footage of her. It's you got to look up the documentary. It's so
It was
good.
on Netflix, dropped a few months ago. Right?
Yeah,
Or-
and
yeah.
and they have her like on a morning television show,
Yeah.
and she's supposed to have cancer. And the host goes to her and she goes, "I can't believe how good you look. You look healthy. You look really good." And she's like, "Yeah, you know, it's the diet, whatever." And it's like,
How do these people have souls?
I don't know. She got a $410,000 fine by a Australian federal court
Oh.
for faking charitable donations, which were never made. And there's way worse than that.
Mhm.
But these are the things you got to be. It's so amazing what people can do. I even think there's a video that went semi-viral this weekend of our prime minister in Canada here. For anybody that's watching, his name's Mark Carney, and it was AI, and it was like him saying he was doing something, and people were totally fooled by it, especially older people who don't know how to catch the cues.
AI, but you know what? I am not an older person, and I don't know some of the cues anymore.
It's good, right?
It's
really
too
good.
good, and sometimes I wonder, is anything real?
Well, I mean, I think, what are they saying? Like 30 or 40% of the internet is already AI slop. They call it slop. And so what that means is there are theories out there about the death of the internet. And one of the theories is, the internet at its best is and was an explosion of creativity, right? It gives up people like us an opportunity to do this outside of like a radio station.
And connection. And people being able to connect.
100%.
Yeah.
Like we can do the kind of show that we want to do without any oversight.
Yeah.
And if people choose to watch and listen, well, then we can profit off that, or we can make a living off that, right? And so many influencers, creators, and stuff have done that. The sharing of information of the opening up of the medical community, the science and tech community, all that's, you can get blueprints to anything. If you're an architect, you can study things in a way that you could never do that before. We have so much more knowledge.
Connection for queer community, trans community, people finding
every
like
community.
Families anywhere in the world. It's been beautiful until.
Well, they're saying that so like, for instance, Facebook is, they're estimating about 30 to 40% at least just AI generated, and they call it slop. Because it's not just
so brutal.
It's not just the one account that's posting it, a bunch of boomers commenting underneath it. All the accounts commenting underneath. So it'll be like, here's a picture of Jesus made of Coca-Cola bottles, and it's like some kid in Africa.
It's
right. Like you'll see it, right? And people will be like, praise the Lord and whatever. And all of the comments underneath it are bots.
Yeah.
They're AI bots.
Yeah.
And if you've ever seen those videos of those AI farms, like on literally, if you go on TikTok or Twitter, and it's like, here's somebody who says an outrageous a-hole level thing, and they get 50 people underneath agreeing with them. The human condition will tell you, well, that person must be onto something.
It's confirmation bias, isn't it? Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
But all of those comments are bots.
Yeah.
And so the theory about the death of the internet is that it's not 30 or 40%, it's like 99% AI slop. And then it becomes unusable at that point.
You know what I've been getting that I have a problem with?
What's that?
That TikToks of dogs turning into people. You getting those where they're laying down and then they stand up and then they start walking. No, you're not getting those videos?
Wait, I have ones where like, this is what my dog would look like if it was a human.
No, it's like,
and that I always think that's weird. Like, your dog isn't a human.
It's a dog on the floor, and there's no context. Why would you want to
put that on your dog?
It's walk, and then it gets up and morphs and has abs.
Is it AI?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Stephanie knows what I mean. You've seen this, yeah. It's spooky. You've seen?
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. And I say scroll. See, I think that's why, TikTok was gonna be banned, quote unquote. But I think TikTok is one of. It's a terrible place in so many ways, but it's one of the last platforms that isn't just slop and isn't just like absolutely wild and harmful content being shared. Like I went on Facebook the other day to do something on Marketplace, and I was like, this is terrifying.
Oh, it's a mess.
It is terrifying.
Well, and this is where it's like, it's hilarious because, Mark Zuckerberg's going on like Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn and talking about how workplaces are too feminized. And I'm like, dude, do you know what's happening on your great creation? The one great idea Mark Zuckerberg had.
Yeah.
And he's been trying, which he did steal. And, he's trying to, what he's trying to do with his life now is come up with the next great idea. But in actuality, what he's done is, he did take the Facebook idea and add to it. But then he bought WhatsApp, he bought Instagram. He bought the VR company, he bought everything else that he's purchased, right, with the money that he's made. The one great idea he had, Facebook, has fallen into the gutter, and it's been like this for like 7 or 8 years.
It's brutal on there.
It's terrible. It doesn't give you anything. There's no reason to be on there, and it's so funny to see him like not understand that.
Yeah.
And, he tried the metaverse thing.
He's full
that
out of
was
touch.
a disaster.
He's out of touch.
Totally. Well, it's also like if you build houses for a living.
Yeah.
and you still own the first house that you built, are you going to let it fall into disrepair? Or are you going to be like, this is the first house I ever built and I'm really proud of it? And he's just let it die.
It's a
crazy.
trap house.
Now,
It's dangerous.
So wait,
It's haunted.
How long was it before you saw something that you're like, oh, there's somebody's parent that I grew up with, and that's QAnon, or that's racist adjacent?
Yeah,
or
I was like, ooh,
it
here's
takes about
just
3 seconds.
people complaining about anybody in our country. Yeah. I think it was a little bit of homophobia that I saw first after maybe 30 swipes, and I thought
that's classic.
I thought,
actually. That's the throwback.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I but listen, we like Meta in the regard that share our reels. Please, Meta. Don't beg to the overlord, right?
Yeah,
but yeah,
they're
it's a
not gonna do
mess.
anything
It's
for
an
you.
absolute mess.
Now, I want to ask you something about the influencer thing.
Okay.
Do you have any influencers you follow?
Like, I don't know if they'd be quote unquote influencers, but they are people who have made money off of their products. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Mel Robbins, for sure.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Mel Robbins would be like an influencer.
I love her. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Have you ever bought anything
Yes.
an influencer was selling?
Yep, her books.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I bought the Leather
Yeah.
Theory. I like that.
Yeah.
What else? Just Mel?
I don't know off the top of my head. Can I like look through my following
look through your
list?
Instagram.
Like,
I want to know who you're
oh
following.
my God. Adam, don't put me on the spot.
No, this is good.
Okay.
There's a few influencers I like that are like I like that Kyle Gordon guy who does all the parody songs.
Who's that?
You know, have you never seen the Planet of the Bass and all that stuff?
Adam,
You've never seen Planet of the Bass? Stop it.
Adam,
Stop it. You've never seen that? That's like the biggest.
We are on different
Steph,
algorithms.
have you seen Planet of the Bass? You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't know what you're talking
You guys
about.
don't know. You don't know. You've never seen that?
Unless it's just like escaping my mind. I don't know.
Planet of the Bass. Like, no, Adam, we are
That's
on
insane. How is that possible?
Adam, we're not on
Where the guy
parody.
makes like he made a song that literally sounds like mid 90s dance from like Euro dance. Are you serious?
No, like I've never.
This guy's huge. The Jonas Brothers put him on stage. Are you kidding?
No,
Okay,
I don't
then
care.
I-
then
about
I
them
might
either.
know.
Then you might know
Then I
him.
might know.
I thought Steph would know
Yeah,
him.
but only the cultural connection is the Jonas Brothers.
That's a
Adam,
pretty big connection.
I deeply love you. I love you so much. But like earlier, you made a Van Halen reference that I overlooked because I was just going to let you be.
I think
but
you
like,
know who Van Halen
you,
are.
I
and
do. But like you, my honey, like you love
Kyle
classic
is younger
rock
than us.
and rock and
No,
music.
you've heard of this guy. You're
and
telling me you've never heard of this guy.
you,
This is
you're,
insane.
you're
No, I don't believe
dad
it.
rock.
She's
I
lying.
don't know who he.
She's
Maybe I know his
absolutely
face.
lying.
Maybe I
She's
know his
absolutely
face.
seen his face.
Let me see.
She's
Let me
lying.
see his face.
Kyle Gordon. You've never seen this guy?
Is Jan Arden an influencer? I
Yeah,
follow her.
yes, I think so.
I follow her. General Motors. I'm influenced by them for sure.
You don't know this guy?
Like, I don't,
Have you never seen this guy?
I love you. I've never seen him.
You've never seen Kyle Gordon in your life.
I've never seen him.
I am sending you all the. See, we can't play into the videos because they're songs and they're copywritten.
Do you know this guy?
No, I also
You've
don't
never
know.
seen this?
I'm shocked.
Guys, he's one of the most followed people on TikTok.
I
Are
don't
you
know if
kidding
that's
me?
true. Do you
Yes,
know that
it
as a
is.
statistic?
He's got like what is it? He's got 3.8 million followers.
Oh, there's people with many, many more. Go to anywhere in Korea. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you know
Any
me and
pop star in
understanding
Korea.
Korean. I'm
Well,
really into
I don't
Korean.
understand parody rock. And this
It's
is
not
why
parody
and
rock.
this
He
is
also
why-
does other things.
this is
too.
why
It was a
we're-
dance song.
This is why we're beautiful friends, because we are different.
okay.
We are different. And
So back to the influencers. Who are you following?
well, I don't know what like constitutes as
Yeah, you do.
yeah,
Yeah, you totally do. I bet they're gay. I bet they hold community events. I bet they're making things.
Scott McGilvery is not
they're
gay. He is a
I bet
home
they're bringing the
renovator.
community together.
Adam, don't. Adam's mad because I don't know
And
his
I
rocking man.
I bet they're hosting picnics outside at Trinity Bellwoods Park in Toronto.
I don't go there. I don't go there anymore. It's too busy for me. I'm too old. I don't know. Like I'm looking up creators and businesses that I follow.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch.
Who do you, Steph, go through
Steph.
yours.
Yeah, Steph. Adam's turned on me.
I
Adam's
am.
pissed.
I am because she's
Oh,
lying.
you don't-
She's
I
absolutely
don't-
lying.
I'm not.
I love me a good influencer.
Okay.
Um,
Who do you like?
A really great influencer is Spencer Barbosa.
Yes,
she's from Toronto.
straight up. Mhm.
And she's all about body positivity, and she's like a young in her 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just like sharing such great messages for
amazing.
young women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And she's huge. She's like massive.
Probably has more followers than the bass rocker.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Ten
No,
of the
I
base?
think she does.
Yeah, she probably does.
I think she's at like 10 million on
Oh,
TikTok.
Oh, no
Oh,
way.
wow.
Good for
She's
her.
huge.
Does she sell anything? Does she sell courses?
So
does
she
sell...
does. No, she doesn't sell courses.
Okay, good, because that's a grift.
She's had
True.
collabs with like Hollister and like different brands.
Oh, cool.
But she actually just posted a TikTok last week saying, here are some brands that have reached out to me that I said no to.
Hey.
Because she's really on like making sure that she supports brands that she actually uses
Absolutely.
as well.
Good for her.
Yeah. Yeah. She's really great.
She probably would have been more helpful in this segment than me. I'm so sorry. I
Yeah,
don't-
Steph, who else we got?
Erica Priscilla from New Jersey, New York. She's like a comedy influencer,
Okay.
I guess. And she's so funny and I love her so much. Yeah.
Now you also listen to like Call Her Daddy and stuff. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say
Alex Cooper. I
Alex-
guess.
Alex
Yeah.
Cooper is an influencer.
Yeah.
And I don't think, listen, I know a lot of people use those terms as like they're denigrating the person. Like, I don't think that is an insult at all. Like, she is one of the most influential people in pop culture at the moment.
And she's incredible.
yeah. You have to, like, it's like being on her show is like the same audience as you'd get on SNL. Like, it's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing with her. Does she sell anything?
She does now.
What does she do?
She has a new energy. I don't know if it's an energy drink, but it's called Unwell and it's like a hydration drink.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Unwell. Oh, yeah, that's-
Everybody's making drinks.
well, because
everybody-
it's a profitable sort of venture.
Um,
And the idea is you hope that you can sell it to like one of the big companies, right? Like 50 Cent did.
oh yeah.
Remember he
made a
did
ton of
vitamin water?
money. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, he did vitamin water, made $100 million.
What kind of drink would you make?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I'd probably go to coffees or
A
something.
wild water.
It's wild water. No,
Wild
I don't think
water.
anybody wants to drink
I
wild
would
water.
drink it.
Like,
I
what's
would,
in it? Ooh, who's
yeah,
to
from
know?
the wild rivers, wild water.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
drink's different or every sip's different.
I hate that.
So I got to get onto this thing because this is hilarious. There's a Cosmo article that claims that women shouldn't and don't care about this one thing about men, and it's a red flag. Essentially, what it says is daters who swipe through the apps enough have dealt with enough men who start with or list in their profile how tall they are. Usually what men will do
Yeah.
is if they are tall, they'll put it in the bio like prominently, or they'll just be like, hey, what's up? I'm 6'1" or 6'2" or whatever. And so this Cosmo article is interesting because what she says is what men are passively aggressively responding to is the belief that women will only date men of a certain height standard. This overgeneralization is widespread enough to be a mainstream talking point, but it's rooted in some incel-coded ethos
Jesus.
lurking in darker corners of the internet. Quote, no one wants to meet a guy under 6 feet, quote, is no one wants to date a nice guy adjacent.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
one-line distillation of entitlement to women and sex that patriarchy promises straight men and their frustration when they can't cash that check. Now,
Ugh.
do you want to hear some stats?
Yes, I'd love. Are we going in incel world?
No, we're not going
Okay,
into incel
good.
world. We're
I don't
going
wanna
into
come.
the-
Okay.
So you don't have to deal with this. Steph, were you ever on the dating apps?
No, before I met my boyfriend,
Who is
Yeah.
like 7 feet?
he's 6'3" actually.
He is
but
6'3". Okay.
besides the point, I'm really short, so it doesn't really matter how tall anybody
So
is.
you
for
didn't
me.
care, right? That wasn't something that mattered to you?
Not so much. Like a lot of people are taller than me because I'm really short.
Well,
so
both
like,
of you.
I don't think it. Yeah, I
We're
don't.
both
It
really little.
didn't really matter that much to me.
Right.
I don't think you would date a guy who's 5'4", though. I don't think you would.
I mean, Nick Jonas is like 5'5".
Okay,
And you
true.
would have
Yeah.
dated
And
the
I
hell
would
out
have
of Nick
definitely
Jonas.
dated Nick Jonas.
Yeah.
So
Would have tapped that.
it really
All right.
depends.
I have some friends who are like completely against it. They're like, anybody under like 5'8", like absolutely not.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Part of it's biological. Like
Yeah.
part of it's that's just what women like.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because apparently only 14% of the population are over 6 feet tall.
What?
Yeah, that's what some of the studies suggest is that so first off, it already being tall and dating already makes you, it's like a Rolex category.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
only if a few percentage
Premium.
of people.
Yeah,
100%,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there's a little bit of that. Now, so this woman is saying it's the patriarchy. It's the patriarchy that that women only want tall guys. That's not true. 2014 study at a St. Andrews University in Scotland found that height appeared to be correlated with perception of masculinity. When it came to dating apps, one study found that men who said they were 6'3" or 6'4" got at least 60% more messages. This is before people were matching
Yeah.
than 5'7" or 5'8". And on the they do say that on the plus side, shorter men actually live longer on average than taller.
Well, I was going to
taller
say,
men.
because the taller you are, the quicker you'll die.
They're-
No,
they're-
I don't think that
There
is
is
the saying, but
there is a man who tested this theory. He didn't change anything about his
Yeah.
profile. Okay. He just changed his height one day to the next. He got 9 messages in a day.
interesting.
While over 60% of women are interested in dating men over 6 feet tall, only 15% are willing to date a man who's 5'8" or shorter.
I mean, I know that I'm not the best expert, but like when I used to sleep with men and date them,
You liked tall men.
no, I liked a shorter guy.
You
like
liked a short
my,
king?
a short king. My long-term teenage boyfriend, Derek Jones.
Mhm.
We love to talk about him. God bless him. It was his birthday the other day. He was like 5'6".
5'6"?
Yeah,
Really?
another guy I slept with was like maybe shorter. I don't know, but he
Wow.
was like wonderful company.
So 60% of women on Bumble were willing to consider a man who was 6 feet tall. That number drops to 30% if you're 5'11" like I am. So if you're not, so what they're saying, and that's a study conducted by Bumble. And it's interesting because at a certain point, that's what you go, like, it's so interesting because I think people go in with these expectations, right? You go into the dating apps and you go, this is what I want, and I'm not settling for less.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you meet somebody and you vibe with them and you don't give a shit how tall they are.
Intentional dating.
And then all that goes out the window, right?
Intentional dating. These are my relationship ideals, and I will not settle for less until you realize that like you're actually sometimes being way too rigid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, can I just side note I find it really interesting that it depends on the episode that we're doing when you decide to say that you're 6 foot versus 5'11".
I am 5'11".
Because-
I mean, that
Yeah.
one person did say I was 6 feet tall,
Well,
and I had my moment. and
Many
that was
months
great.
ago, we won't go on about this, but you said that your doctor said that you were
The
6
doctor
feet.
did say I was
Yeah,
6 feet
well,
tall.
I haven't followed up on that though, have we?
Yeah, no,
Anyways,
I
but
am-
I digress.
I'm
I digress.
5'11".
All right, little fella, let's keep going. Okay.
On the opposite end, so again, 6 feet. If you're 5'8" or shorter, only 15% of women say that they're willing to date you. Now, again, that's single people who are not like, if you meet and you vibe, I don't think it
I don't care
matters.
about height.
But on the opposite end, men who are 6'5" met the height requirement of nearly 90% of women. So it's very interesting because she goes on to say, while it's fair to say women drew the short end of the stick when it comes to suffering through patriarchal beauty standards, the truth is that people of all genders do, including men. But the height standard to which women seem to feel subjected is not one that was devised by women themselves, but rather one imposed on us thanks to all the internalized patriarchal beliefs about men needing to be physically
I
superior
can't
to
figure out
women.
who this person is mad at in the article.
I can't tell
I
either.
can't. I'm losing the plot.
But that's why I thought it was so
Yeah.
interesting because it was an article that like really bothered people.
Yeah.
And I think what it is that straight up, like it's like men liking big boobs. Oh, what a shock. Women like tall men. Oh, what a shock. Right? Like and yet men who, to a man, most straight men will enjoy a big pair of boobs, will date women with small boobs, and it's fine. And they don't care. It's so interesting because we all have these things, and then people internalize them. Like, I'll never get a date because I'm not 5'7" or 5'8" or above that, and that's just so not true.
It's like short man syndrome. It's like,
Yes.
and if you're looking for fuel to be angry about in the dating pool, you should probably take yourself out of that pool because like maybe you need to date yourself for a while.
So here's my question to you because I'm looking at this from like a straight guy's perspective.
Yeah.
Height has never been a problem for me. I've never cared.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I'm an average height guy. Like
Yeah.
this is 5'9" to 5'11" is about average, right?
Yeah.
So it was just never a thing that I thought about. Thankfully, I guess I have a big head. I don't know if no woman has ever told me like, hey, I don't date guys with a
Big,
massive head.
beautiful, tall head. That's my man.
So in your world, Jax, in the gay world with the gays,
Lesbian universe.
tell me what's the height or big boobs or big butt or whatever equivalent? Is there one for lesbians?
No, I think that there's just like certain styles for certain people. Like
You're telling me there's not one like there would be no statistical thing to back up most lesbians go for this, most lesbians go for that.
No, because I think it depends on your type. Like, are you looking for like, I mean, I don't necessarily believe in these certain like titles, but like more femme, more masc, more, you're looking for a switch, like certain types, I guess.
So what you're saying is you guys are actually good to each other.
Yeah,
That's
we're
nice.
good to each other. We're also
That's
like,
really nice.
I don't know. And
It's
there's absolute like toxic selection and definitions going on in the queer like world, of course. But I think that it's a bit more fluid. Like I've dated short women. I've dated tall women. I have, I'm definitely probably into more feminine women, but like I also like appreciate a handsome soft mask. Like, I don't know. It's
Like
like
a hey mama?
I mean, no. I mean,
That's not for you.
Hey mamas are not for me. I fear them and I respect them. No, but hey mamas, like, they aren't my style. You love a hey mama.
You love that.
A hey mama would dom the shit out of you. Yeah, that's what they would do.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I just thought it was. I thought it was really,
Once
really
again,
interesting.
bossed
Now,
around by somebody in a
is
fitted cap.
What is okay, Steph and Jax? What was when you were going in like and Jax? You could answer it from today, but like, what's your no, I won't do that. Like Steph, when you were dating, before you met your boyfriend, what was your thing where you were like, no, I'm not going to date someone who has X or who has Y or does X or who does Y? Like, what's a turnoff? What's a turnoff on a dating app?
Okay. Well, yeah. So on the dating apps, like I really didn't use dating apps before because it was like just starting, and then I guess I was just young and I was using it for like fun.
Hot, perfect man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've been together forever.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Physically, I have a weird thing about chin hair.
Really?
If it's just chin hair, like, and there's nothing else, like I
okay, like
absolutely
I've got a little
not.
bit
Like, you don't want a little goatee?
like I get
No.
Oh, okay. So you're
Or
talking
it's like either like whatever
A
this
soul
is-
patch?
a soul patch, or
Yuck.
like, or even just on your chin, like, and nothing else. It's just the chin hair. I don't know what it is. It's like absolutely.
I'm
not.
going to grow my chin hair out for you. That's what I'm going to do.
Jax, what's yours?
I mean, now it would be like if you're a heavy drinker, like I'd probably be like,
that wouldn't work for you.
like if you're a messy girl, probably not down for that. Deal breaker would, like, are we talking like physical?
Anything. Somebody messages you on an app. What do you say? How do you know? I don't think I'm going to go for that.
Grammar for sure.
Interesting.
Grammar's a big deal.
See, that
Grammar's
is a good answer.
big deal breaker for me. Like if you're sliding in and it's like, yeah, no grammar.
Really?
Also, like, I'm particular about emojis. Like if you're using
Really?
yucky, you know what I mean. Steph
Too
knows
many
what I mean.
emojis?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like-
No,
Like I think
no.
emojis are cute and like when used
You love
specifically.
using the moon face. I know that.
I love the moon face, and I use it too much. The moon face or the eyes. But yeah, if you got too many, like slow it down there, sister. I think it's just mostly about technology. If you're using an Android, maybe no. But yeah, I don't like.
That's interesting.
I don't like people who drink too much that use too many emojis. I guess. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. What
That's-
about you when you were back in the day?
For me, it was physically, I'm pretty open. Like it was not like you kind of judge each book by its cover because that's what you're doing when you're looking at someone physically.
Yeah.
But for me, it was I needed somebody who had a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
And I needed somebody who was kind. And I know that sounds so lame.
No.
But that was my number one
Yes.
underline. Are you good to people?
Yes.
And not good to people when it suits you.
No.
You need to be good to people when it doesn't suit
Are
you.
you baseline kind to people around you
100%.
at your worst?
I felt like you could always meet people who are nice.
Yeah.
Can you meet someone who's kind?
Yeah.
Genuinely kind.
Mhm.
Because that solves like 90% of our problems in a relationship.
It is like as you get older too, it's the most important
So
thing.
key.
And it's
So
like
key.
it's not just like doing it for your benefit. It's like being a decent, respectful, kind person
Yes.
is a beautiful foundation to have. And
Yeah.
it's really important.
It sounds lame, but it's
It
actually,
is really, really important.
It's true.
And you found such a kind honey.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I found a good one. She's got a good sense of humor too.
Yeah.
We like to.
She's also beautiful.
we like to pop an edible and laugh at movies, and like that's what we do.
I
Like, it's great.
I love when the two of you have a couple edibles and hit the town. I've gone out with you, and all you do is giggle, and it's my favorite. You guys are my favorite couple.
Yeah,
my
we
favorite
giggle.
couple.
It's fun. It's the best. So the third thing I want to get to, and this is before we get to the interview.
Okay, no. Somebody
interview.
said we had a suggestion on the name. By the way, we'll
what
get
is
to
it?
it after.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I still like the interview. Jax did something this weekend that only single people can do. This is something that if you are not single, you can't do this. Okay, I just want you to understand this, and it doesn't even have to be like an old relationship. It could be a brand new relationship. Single people, this is what you can do. Jax bought a drone Jax does a lot of production, a lot of video, a lot of audio. You obviously know that, right? Like she's really good at it. But Jax spent the weekend learning to fly her drone.
Yeah.
And only a single person with no kids could do that.
I've been
If you were in a
excited.
relationship,
Yeah.
you couldn't have spent all
Oh
weekend.
no, for sure. Yeah.
So you went and you flew your drone. And by the way, you flew it over a streetcar. And I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Like, I'm not sure where you're allowed to fly those things. I think you have to have a license in the city to fly them.
It didn't ask me for one.
It didn't ask you. We expect the drone to ask you for one?
Oh yeah, they have. Oh my god, these things have all kinds of like rules and regulations. Like
Really?
they also have all the zones. Like it is so. It's like policed, I guess. What a better
it?
term? Oh yeah, they like moderated. They have a lot of moderations on there, but they let me go. Yeah, I've been wanting to learn. I love film. I love like tech gear, video, anything. And I've been wanting to learn to fly a drone forever. And I had bought a drone in the winter. Obviously not the best time to fly a drone, but I took some time over the weekend and I flew my drone. And it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like it's 4K, like it has a stabilizer,
looked
gimbal.
beautiful.
Like they are beautiful, beautiful machines. And like DJI makes crazy ones. Steph and I nerd out about, production stuff all the time, but I had so much fun. But yep, I realized like, I'm alone, Yeah, like, I'm alone. And
If you're ever on the dating apps, you'll be like, you want to check out my drone footage?
you know what? I'm too busy with my drone to even be on the apps.
So-
I'm minding my business. It's great.
Let me
Yeah,
ask you
it's
something.
great.
So when you fly those drones, is there like, if it goes out of your
I can
eyesight,
show you.
where does it go? Like, are you able to get it back? Like, what do
Yeah,
you
you
do?
can get it back. And I also
Do
have
you have like goggles that you can see?
no, I don't have that.
seeing eye?
It's just,
Because you can get that, right?
yeah, they're expensive and fancy. I have like just like the Mini 3 DJI model. I have a built-in screen on my controller.
Oh,
But
so you can see what it's.
You can see what it sees. However, yesterday it was so far up in the sky and the sun was in my eyes and I couldn't find it. I was like, where are you? And then I was like looking on the controller. I said, where am I? And I couldn't hear
You
it
couldn't
anymore.
hear it?
And
No?
I thought, girl, where are you at? And yeah, but then I brought it closer, but I looked fucking crazy because I'm like squinting out, come back, come home. Yeah, it's pretty trippy, but quite a thrill.
Is it fun?
Oh my God.
I've always wanted one. I've
It's
always wanted
so much fun.
I've always wanted to fly one, and I
We
thought
can
it'd be
fly
very
it together.
Cool. Yeah,
We can fly it and we can fly it over the lake.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, that's my next question.
Yeah.
If that thing, let's say it cuts power and it falls into the lake or something,
Mhm.
is water going to kill it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
Can you get waterproof drones?
Oh yeah, for sure. But like they're expensive and I don't have the money for those ones.
Wow.
Listen, I'm just playing it fast and loose. But like it gives you like it says battery low, come home. It does.
So what do you charge it?
Yeah.
What then? Okay. So
Oh my
now,
God, you want to talk about this because
Oh,
you want
man,
to
I'm
play with
so
it.
interested.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so
yeah.
very
We can play with it
interested.
anytime.
So I guess my next question is like, what is your plan? Like, what are you going to do with it?
So I originally bought it because I was going to do a campaign. I was doing a campaign in the winter and then it like weather permitting. And then, so I kept it because I was like, I want this, but I'm going to bring it back to Nova Scotia with me. And I want to do a ton of like, water, like shoreline and just adventure stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's no shortage of that.
I'm
there.
just looking to fly a drone around my home province. Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
there
yeah.
like a wind thing that like beyond a certain level of wind, it'll get blown away?
I
and-
don't know, but like it's surprisingly, I was saying to Steph earlier, like it wasn't still yesterday, like it was kind of windy. And because because it's stabilized, like you can't, it's so still.
Cool.
Like it is, Adam, we can play.
That's cool. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Should bring it to the park. I want to show Everly. I think she'd love it.
Everly, like your daughter, my son, Reggie hates it. He's a dog.
Your dog.
No, Everly, like her birthday's coming up. We can play. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. I think that's very, very
Well,
cool.
you thought you were going to get
No, I'm not-
saucy with me, but
not at all. Not at all. So I'm now in the future. Like, are you gonna be the person that like brings the drone to outdoor picnics, or like what?
No.
How's this gonna like? What kind of drone operator are you gonna
No,
be?
I'm not going to be like,
Because I need to know this. Like, is this gonna be your personality?
no,
going
I'm not going to be
forward, or-
the drone girl. I'm not
Okay.
going to be drone daddy. But I wanted to, because like I do a lot of production. I like, I do campaigns and video stuff. So I want to be able to have all of my assets ready to go. Like if I want to do this certain shot, I'll be able to have access to a drone or, a gimbal, etc.
Can you set it to follow you?
I don't think on this model. You can, the pros you can, yeah.
Okay, so like I remember there was a back in the day when there was like a bunch of Kickstarters on things. There was a drone that I actually ended up getting my refund back from this Kickstarter, but they had this great idea where if you were literally like it had a wrist sort of watch thing and you could control it from that, but it would wherever you wanted it to be, whatever angle you wanted it on. If you were like,
Oh Christ.
if you're like driving a car or you were, in a boat or something like that, it would follow you and get the tracking and pan and all that, the shots that you wanted without you having to operate it. It would just sort of move on.
No,
its own.
that is too futuristic for me. I just want a drone that I can like fly up and see a tree and then bring it down.
What's a drone like that cost?
Like a drone, like one of those high-end ones?
No, yours.
Oh, it was like $300.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like the lowest one. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
The picture of it, it's like, we'll have to put some footage in here. Just-
Maybe with our production wizard, the real production
Yeah.
wizard, Stephanie, we could do that. Oh yeah, I have fun. You know what? It's like, it's another creative output. So
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah, maybe I'll
Okay.
make you a little video.
All right,
Yeah.
now the interview.
The interrogation.
The interrogation.
Yeah,
You like that? Is that what you want?
No, I don't want to call it that. Somebody said that we should call it, but we'll stick with the interview for
Millsy
now.
wants to know, what conspiracy theory do you low key believe in? Conspiracy theories, by the way, used to be fun. They used to be like interesting things you talked about at dinner. Now conspiracy theories are like, okay, how badly has the internet corrupted your brain? Like how lost are you? How no going back are you? And so I want to know, is there any conspiracy theory that's like a fun one? I'm not talking about like, Jax, if you're QAnon, I really don't want to know.
I was like, no,
but
I'm not. Oh my
I
God,
know
I'm
you're
not. No.
I know you're not, but
I would like to see more footage of us going to the moon.
no, you don't. You know, it's interesting. One of the funniest things about that is the American flag like waving, and people were like, well, why is it waving? I'm like, I don't know. Could it be the zero gravity?
I don't know. Like I don't know anything about wind in space. So, but no, I don't really have any. I found that stuff too spooky. I just want to like, I'm just chilling. Don't want to. It is so scary out there. And I just don't want to believe that everything's even scarier. So I just mind my business.
Can I tell you one that
Yeah, I
believe?
know that you got one and it's going to be weird.
There is evidence that we could have had battery powered cars as early as the 60s or 70s.
Well, wasn't there already?
Yes,
yeah.
there was. And the automakers buried it.
Yes.
Bought the patent, buried it.
Yeah.
And
Because of the
it's-
fuel industry, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also because, like the bigger automakers were internal combustion engine makers,
Yeah.
right? So they didn't have access to the battery thing. So the battery thing, I actually believe, I think that was like batteries are pretty old technology.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been that hard to
No.
do back then. Maybe the cars wouldn't have worked all that great, but you still, you know what I mean? That I actually believe. I think that totally happened.
There are a lot of things that I think we've already had answers to that we aren't shown the answers to yet. You know?
think so?
Oh, for sure.
Like you believe in like UFOs are considered like a conspiracy theory.
We've talked
believe that
we've
you-
talked about this
UFOs.
before. I respect the aliens. I want nothing but great. If it comes down to it, great interactions with. I will listen to them too.
You will.
I will. I am not here to cause any trouble with them. If it comes down to an alien war, okay. I don't want any drama with the aliens.
Jax from Karen M. I need to know why the clock behind you is always set to 9:25. I love your podcast. That's detail, by the way. That's somebody that really knows the show.
Because Adam and I used to work for Kiss 92.5.
Is that actually the reason?
No, I bought it at Valley Village on Queen East, and I just put it there. And
And you've just never,
That's-
you've
yeah.
never said it.
We've gotten a lot of comments about this clock lately.
Have we?
Yeah, there's been a few others, people asking why the clock is not working.
why isn't anybody talk? You know what? We should be listen to the gnome. What about the gnome? Huh?
Nobody's interested in the gnome. They want the clock.
No, I don't know about the clock. I was buying some knickknacks when Adam and I were building the studio, and I just
Well, when you were building the studio.
when
didn't
I
build the
was
studio.
building the studio and charging Adam half. I just thought that's the.
That's what it is. Okay.
That's what it is.
Less exciting than I think
You
people
know
would have
what?
thought.
I am so sorry. That was a really boring ass answer. Yep. Okay.
All right, time for your recommendation, and I assume it's Sinners, right?
It's Sinners. Oh my God. And if you've seen it, message me. If you are going to see it, message me. After you've seen it, message me. All I want to do is talk about Sinners and Michael B. Jordan's body.
He is
Christ.
cut from marble, that man.
Whoa, double too.
Be ashamed to find out when he's 5'6".
Don't
He's
talk-
not actually. He's
Don't
not.
bring
He's
that.
not.
Don't bring
He's
that
not.
energy here. What
He's
about you?
not.
What's your recommendation?
Mine is and Jackson's gonna light me up for this one, but it's Andor. It's the Star Wars show. It's getting regularly like Rotten Tomatoes like 9.5,
Yeah.
9.7 out of 10. It's you know why I like it.
No,
You don't have to like Star Wars to enjoy it. It's about
about the story.
it's a political drama.
oh, shut.
It is.
Sorry.
It is. Star Wars is a political drama.
I know, but like,
So here's the thing. You're judging because you haven't watched. You think it's silly like laser swords and stuff like that. It's not. It's basically void of all that. There's none of that in it. It's all about authoritarianism and suppression of culture and propaganda.
Handmaid's
and
Tale.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Well, it's not as dark as Handmaid's Tale. Handmaid's Tale is pretty friggin' dark, but it is along that. It's that sort of, and it kind of rings through with the times when things are getting a little bit
Yeah.
squirrely out there. You kind of go, okay, yeah, this is how this happens. So
boop, bop. That's
I'm
like
t- I am-
all the
I
robot
honestly,
sounds.
I wish you would
yeah,
watch it
no,
because I
for
think
sure.
you love it.
I'm actually really busy watching the last season of Girls.
Yeah,
for no,
because that's it
for
gets
no
so
rea-
much better.
for no reason.
All right. Well, listen, we're
Uh,
going to see you next week. Thanks so much for
we
tuning
love
in.
you. Happy
And
spring.
enjoy.